Hello everyone, this is going to be a repotting video. This yard is unseeded Wurundjeri country, and I want to acknowledge the future, present and past Indigenous connection to the land. I am a settler gardening with Indigenous plants to increase biodiversity. I apologize for and scorn the English invasion and ecocide. Alright, so we're out in the garden with Lily, who's named after the lily-pilly tree, and it's actually a lily-pilly that we're underneath. The tree with more foliage is the lily-pilly. So the first repotting is I want to plant this hardenbergia in the ground, and it's a big vine, and I actually grew it from seed. I grew a fair few of them. I want it to grow up the plum tree, which is the other tree which I'm under, the tree with less foliage. We rent, and I also have housemates, so there are limitations to what I can do in the yard, but the hardenbergia shouldn't be too over the top. And yeah, this is also a big reason why I have so many pots and containers to garden in. So I'm just throwing in the tomato that was in the hardenbergia pot. It was such a bonus tomato, like I barely watered that pot. Now it's going in the radius of the sprinkler for the automatic watering system, so it'll probably flourish with like less to no effort from me. You'll see I just dig a hole just big enough for it, give it a little cup of water just to settle the roots in. You can see I'm giving it a little bit of a prune. Yeah, chuck the prunings in the compost. We leave the grass long in the yard to help with water retention and to provide habitat, and yeah. Here I start digging, and like, can't believe that little kitty, little Lily's not afraid of big sharp shovel. Yeah, I was digging down just deep enough, and I actually didn't even hit many roots, just found a bit of trash which I pulled out. Today I have Lily out with me. She's an indoor cat, but comes outside on the harness for her own protection and also for the birds' protections. Can't trust that the carnivore instinct, the hunting instinct, won't cause trouble. I've always grown up with outside cats, but both me and my brother now have inside cats on harnesses. Yeah, she loves coming outside, and when she's a bit older and microchipped and such, then I'm keen if she wants to come for further adventures, like, I'll take her. The next clip is all the plants I want to repot lined up, and if you'll notice on the right, that's the first plant I did. That's a strawberry gum, and I had two of them, but one of them died, and so I've been a bit nervous about this one, and I actually have left it in the pot for over a year. In that it's a really big pot, but it should have been repotted earlier. And I looked it up, and it's actually from further north than I thought. So so when I repot it, I'm gonna give it a go in the greenhouse, see if it does really well in there. It was actually quite hot this day. Not so hot that I had to reduce my workload, but the camera actually, I had to reduce its workload and get some cooling going. I brought a fan over to the corner of the yard with an extension cable, which was actually pretty nice for me as well. And the camera is recording in a higher resolution than the last video. And I also had a Wi-Fi feature on, and I had to turn off the Wi-Fi feature to continue recording. And I actually missed the full-on repotting of the strawberry gum. But the bottom of a pot actually had become quite swampy. I put in less mixed materials in that day, or maybe I did put in mixed materials, and in the long time frame it had turned swampy. You can see that it actually has died back. It's definitely alive, like, it's got new shoots, and it will definitely be happier in its new pot. The weather on that day, according to the scientific instruments, was 27 degrees Celsius approximately around the time when I was repotting, and the humidity was 42%, and there were no clouds at all. I got distracted on this day because I was taking so much out of the compost bins. I needed some more nitrogenous, more moist kind of ingredients to balance it out. It's been drying out a lot in the heat. I use those compost tumblers more to just get the right mix of composting materials, and then most of the composting happens either in a pot or in a hole that I've dug. And I just went to a fruit shop, and there was a few quite gross veggie scraps, but whatever, they're for the compost. And I also moved them to within the radius of the sprinkler, and also not against the metal fence, so it should be quite a bit cooler in there and not dry out as much. These beauties are from the same tree. They're both from a tree at a kindergarten, so I call them the kindergums. If anyone has a better name for it, feel free to let me know. But the one in the blue pot is slightly larger, and the other thing I remember about their growing conditions is coming into this summer, the one in the bigger pot would have also gotten less light. I also find a picture from Google Maps of the tree the seeds came from. I don't remember exactly why I chose to grow these seeds, but yeah, now there are two beautiful small trees, and I'm excited to see how they grow in the future. I've grown a few of these, and they're in different locations. The tree is on the western side of Wurundjeri country, so if I plant them back in a natural situation, I'll definitely plant them over on that side. The next tree to be repotted is this beautiful lemon-scented gum. It's still juvenile. It's got the furry leaves, and the leaves will become smooth after a while. I collected them actually at the same time as I collected the kinder gum seeds, and I got a few lemon-scented trees growing as well. There was a big storm last year, and I collected the seeds around that time. I'm just gonna talk you through the soil building process which I've been doing in these videos. It's different every time, like depending on what I've got on hand, and I'm by no means a professional, and also the gum trees are actually pretty hardy, so I can build the soil while they're growing in it, and they don't seem to mind. So I start off with some fig tree sticks that I got free off Facebook Marketplace, and I found some gravel in actually this corner of the garden. And then you can see I chucked in a bunch of horse poo. Love buying the horse poo off the roadside stalls. And I've got a bag of coffee grounds, which you might see me putting in there. It's just a black trash bag. And just then, with that big square pot, that was some of my compost from my roto compost bins, and I'm finding that that's really good. Like those eggshells, you could see that I smashed up one, but I'm leaving one hole to do some aeration. And yeah, like as I'm repotting a lot of these, I'm looking at how it should turn out, and I'm finding that it's actually giving it real good aeration, because I used a similar method when I repotted some of these trees last time. Then I'm putting a layer of good soil for first contact with the roots. So that's some beautiful veggie mix. I did a bit of research to find some good quality cheap local potting mix. It's a soil supplier in Campbellfield. They're really good. I'll send a link to them. $7.50 Australian dollars for a 25-litre bag. And that's a veggie mix, and they've got other stuff too. So I put that in, and then I put a bit more veggie mix, so it's touching the sides as well. Throw a little bit of roto compost mix in this side too, to give the top layer of the pot a bit of variety too. And I'm actually about to show you. I found, I don't know what they are. I think they might be either worm eggs or some other, hopefully not slug eggs. Well, actually, I don't really mind if the slugs are on my natives. They don't seem to damage them. It's only when they get to the garden veggies that I grow as well. Pause it for now. And lastly, I got a shout out, mulch.net, which is a website where you can get free mulch. I'm not sure if it's worldwide or Australia. It's where tree services and such who have excess mulch would prefer to deliver it to you than have to pay to dump it at the tip. And you can get some dang good stuff. This load I got was really nice. It was mixed up a fair few sorts of plants, but it's definitely been really good, and like this load had no weeds in it so far. I'll probably get some more soon. Yeah, it was time to put in some cat reel, and Lily heard this bug buzzing from the other side of the yard and wanted to check it out, so I put her on top of the compost, but then she ignored it. And here's the next three that we're repotting. This is what I call an Iron Cap Ranges mallet, and it's from the Iron Cap Ranges in Western Australia. Its scientific name is Eucalyptus steedmanii, but I prefer to call it Iron Cap Ranges mallet. It's got really cool gum pods, but I won't plant it in any natural positions. And these ones, I literally have no idea what they are. I call them street gums. Please tell me what they are. They have the really classic gum nuts, yeah, the repotting process for those three was pretty much the same and took a while, so I'm not going to show it. It was also over 2 days and the footage got a bit confused. Yeah, so we're on to this is a bit of second day footage now. The only difference was the Iron Cap Ranges mallet got some extra drainage, and yeah, here's the bottom of the street gum going in. This next one is an interesting one. It's a Melaleuca that I grew from a cutting. I went and I found the oldest tree in the area that I used to live, and worked out how to propagate it, and it was by cutting. So yeah, and I'm excited that it worked, and yeah, but I moved away from the house and some chaos happened with this tree, and I threw it in this pot to keep it alive at the other house, and then I came back and I realized that I needed to repot it. so I brought it back here, and I'm doing it with in this session. The other thing in the pot is a bulbous, as you can see, some sort of bulbous plant. If anyone knows, please let me know. That's a old woody capsicum that may or may not live, and then there are these weedy acacias. I believe they might be green wattles. I'm putting them up I put them up just as emergency trees, but they're quite weedy, so I'm not necessarily gonna plant them anywhere. Here's the Melaleucas going in. Yeah, as I said, I wanted to propagate the oldest trees in the old area. And actually there's 2 cuttings in there. And I didn't actually realise when I was repotting, but in hindsight I did, and I was like, But then I was just like, they'll work himself out. And I put it in a big terracotta pot, but in hindsight I wish I'd put it in a lighter pot, since I have to transport it back to its original area. The next trees we're going to repot is another iron-capped ranger's mallet. It's that long curly one. But also in the pot there's a Acacia Longfolia, which is a really beautiful, really easy tree to grow. I'm really enjoying growing them. I've got a fair few. I've got like a few in the ground that'll hopefully become a little bush. And yeah, I could separate them and they both might grow better, but I'm interested in how they're growing together in the same pot, and just keeping them together as an experiment. See, also they've got kind of similar leaves. You can only just see a few acacia leaves. There they are. It's a little bit yellow, but interesting. Next up is a Leptospermum. I'm just showing off the pot. It's only a semi-draining pot, but I make sure there's enough stuff in the bottom to have that semi-draining bit work. It's, as I said, it's a Leptospermum, but I'm not 100% sure what it is. It's most likely a woolly tea tree, Leptospermum langarium, scientific name, but I couldn't get the seeds to pop up reliably. It could just be a random Leptospermum seed that's come from somewhere, or it also could be Leptospermum scoparium, which is the Manuka honey tea tree. Way back in COVID times, I ordered those seeds and tried to grow them a bunch of times, and yeah, and I don't think I succeeded in growing those ones. But you can see the trees in the pink pot that I'm about to get growing out the bottom. It was actually, it was in a little container of water. It was really loving it. So that's why I've put it in a semi undraining pot. And I really love Leptospermums, and I just wish I could get their seeds growing reliably, but they work better from cuttings anyway. Just checking out how the roots have grown. Cool. lastly, these are two seedlings that came from a gum tree that had just fallen over and had lots of seeds on it, and so I decided to propagate some babies from it. Now it's finally time to pack up and water. I put all the pots in their end locations before I watered because they dang heavy, and I ain't about to sacrifice my back's health. I use water from a little barrel that actually the previous occupants of the house or something had set up, which is really nice. I like to use as much rainwater as possible. It just makes sense that it's healthier for the plants. And you can see some beautiful everlasting are they everlasting daisies? Yeah, they're growing there. They're a bit old. I'm hoping that they just chaotically shed seeds as I move them around, and over there, and this one in the middle is actually all cat grass and cat herbs, which I'm growing. Lily is gonna love it. Overall, the goal is to restore native environments, so you might see me collecting some seeds in a closer location to where and growing them. When the weather stops becoming so hectic, to get more seeds sprouting. And also some of these I'll guerrilla garden some of these, and I've got some spots to put some of these planned. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed seeing how you can continue to grow trees even though you frickin' have to move around with rentals. Hopefully I'll be in this place for a lot longer, so yeah. Thanks for watching, everyone. Stay tuned for more trees, trash, and tinkering.